Afternoon. This is Nita with a Timepiece Garden. Miss Panda has gone up over the hill, protecting the world from squirrels that want to take over, one squirrel at a time. What are we doing with Garden 2? What are we going to do? We're going to blow all these leaves out. Again, I already did on the outsides. I did that so the electric fence would continue to work, but as stuff blows out of the beds, it blows back onto the fence. And again, it'll ground them out. I don't need the critters getting in here, eating anything they shouldn't eat. So we're going to start here because there's not a lot. I've already done the majority of this to keep the fence operating. So we're going to start in here, get this done, and then go back and finish where I was working on Garden 1 yesterday. So that's the goal, is to get all the leaves blown out, and then I can roll through with the lawnmower, just kind of right here in this area, because this is where I'll blow the leaves out too, and then do the entire front yard. So that's the goal. And if I don't get to mow today, I will be mowing tomorrow, because we're supposed to, the next 2 days, today and tomorrow, are supposed to be really good days. So that's the plan. There's all the leaves. I'll show you a picture when I'm done. Talk to you in a few. Supervisor here checking it out. She's trying to tell me, Mom, there are still leaves. Yeah, I live in the middle of a forest. There are always going to be leaves. But they always are clear. Clear and clean. Part of the bed is clean. Just not all of it. It doesn't all need to be cleaned. I just can't have a 2-foot pile up against the fence, because it will ground out the fence. Being that I've still got onions in here and strawberries and blueberry bushes and, my asparagus. Hi, Miss Panda Bears. What you doing, girlfriend? What you doing? Is you supervising? You're not supposed to be in the garden. Come over here on the walkways. Good girl. Not in the garden, Panda. Not in the garden. Good girl. Good girl. I know. Anyway, asparagus are starting to die back. What you smelling? What you smelling? You silly girl. You silly girl. I know. You silly. So yeah, asparagus are starting to die back, which is good. Yeah. I don't know. I'll be cutting them back soon. Cutting all the tops of them, letting them winter. When I do that, this front batch up here, it will actually move back like it's supposed to, and then I'll be able to lay the new fabric across the top and start moving the fence down. So come next year, I will have a walkway up front and a walkway on the back row, like I have here in the middle rows, which will be awesome, because that allows me to stand here on the downhill side and not have to bend over an extra foot just to get to the garden stuff. When I do that, my garlics are all going to move. I don't know if you can see them. Some of them came up, some of them didn't. I don't know. I'm assuming they don't like the spot here. So I'm going to try them somewhere else. I'm not going to harvest them for food. I'm going to harvest and replant. Maybe they want more heat than this garden provides, or more sunshine than this garden provides. So I will attempt to move them when I move the mulberries. It's the thought process. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, garden's there. Oh, it's a cricket. Did you get it? Oh, Panda got a cricket. She likes cricket. It's a good snack when you're out here working in the garden, huh? I know. All right, so anyway, nice big old pile goes all the way around, because that's the direction the wind typically tends to blow. So I'm not going to mow until tomorrow, because I'm going to go try and clean Garden 1. And if any of those leaves blow, they will continue to blow across the way type thing. So I do need to get them mowed before they blow to Garden 3, but they're out of Garden 2. So good times, and yes, I still have a lot of wood to do. Garden first, kind of finished cleaning up the fall chores, so everything is done, and then I can come and just work in this area. Because with all the trees down and the branches down, I've got leaves in there that I got to take care of. Secondary thought, All right, Miss Pan and I moving on to Garden 1. See you in a few. Alrighty, welcome to Garden 1. Panda the supervisor let me know my neighbors were coming up. He's brought his daughter with him. They're going to do the youth rifle, which is always a good thing. And so they don't scare the deer at the back of the property, which touches their property. they drive up and they park up here. Trust me, it's a good time. I know when they're coming. They usually let me know. Panda let me know they arrived. It's Mama's girlfriend, Panda Bears. Panda Bears, you see how tense she is right now? It's because they're walking off. They got all their orange on. They're walking off. She can hear them rustling. It's all right. She's doing her job. Huh, Panda Bears, Panda Bears. You're such a good girl, huh? Yes, you are. Your mama's girlfriend. All right, so garden 1. I killed my batteries doing garden 2. That's okay. I won't have to do it again. And there's stuff that I can do in garden 1, like underneath the decking here. I'm not going to get on my hands and knees and crawl around with the blower. I always bring the rake and bring that stuff out here so then I can just blow it down. So that's what I'll do. I'll do all the stuff that I got to do with rake stuff. And then I can do the blower tomorrow before I mow. I just kind of work on it. Same thing with coming in and like cutting back the echinaceas and my cocosmias. Just, cut the dead stuff back. Go ahead and throw it out, and that way when I do come in here to finish blowing, it'll blow off well. That's the goal. So, let me get busy. Talk to you in a few. All right, garden 1. So, this first row here was what we had blown out yesterday, and you could still see I got a little bit of work to do in that one. Stems to cut back. Had started the walkway. You can now kind of see where the first 3 have been cleaned up. There's nothing tall sticking up. My echinaceas aren't sticking up. Cut everybody back, and I didn't get into that one. And I'll talk about that in a minute. Cleaned up a little more in the aisle. Didn't get to the last 2 beds at all. Cleaned out under the deck here, all the way down and around. So what we do is I push everything out because I'm not trying to pick up all the leaves. Having said all of that, you see the sunshine? It's right there. It's 3:15. Temperature is dropping because I've lost the sunlight, which means I'm done. And I know that. That's how winter is. I have very, very limited amount of time to get out here, get to work, and just get stuff done. It'll be the same way tomorrow, even though tomorrow's supposed to be 5 degrees warmer, which means I can be out here earlier. So, what I've been doing is I clean it. I just kind of throw it out. You can see where I cleaned everything hanging out of the fence. I still have some seed pods here. Makes sense that are inside the fence, and I need to go ahead and clean all of those out too. And I'll do that tomorrow morning. Clean them out, throw them out. You can see the line all the way down. Because what it is I'll come here with the mower, and I'll mow and blow it that way until it mulches, and I'll just kind of go all the way around the house because it goes down and around, picks up on the back side of the house. So again, past the crawl space, and then back up around till we hit about the pump house. Now everything above the pump house I've already done, but I'll move the Jeep, and that way once I pass the leaves, turn the mower off, drive it this way, and do it again, and just continue to blow it all away from the house and mulch it as I go. So the rose has got to be cut back. It has not quite died off yet, but it's still got to get cut back. It gets its annual pruning. That's good for roses. Roses like a good prune. Didn't have to do it much last year because of the snow. It had actually killed a bunch of it, but I'm going to do it this year. I have thoughts. That I'm just going to leave this corner here, but after you get this post, I think I'm going to take the rest of the fence down. It was originally to keep deer out and or, just whatever. Panda does that. I think it'll be easier for me to blow the leaves out, etc. if the fence isn't here. Right now I have to blow everything to the aisleway and then do it out of the aisleway, and I don't like that. Does that make sense? I think it'll be easier if the fence isn't here for the majority of this. So I'm thinking about, I like that idea. Rosa Sharon, this will be the year that it gets a pruning. I want it to look, for lack of better words, like a 6-foot bonsai tree. I don't have a better answer for that. There should only be 3 stems at the bottom. Yes, you don't have to look through the fence. There are 3 main pieces off the trunk, and it should be about 4 feet high before there's another branch. Does that make sense? And then from there, once you hit about 5 feet high-ish, it can keep all of its top branches. What that does is that allows this side of the bed here to get water and not have the tree itself interfere with this bed getting water from when I put the water system on. but still lets the top here just grow and be great and shade the 2 windows here, because it is directly at the power lines where I get all the sun. Now, if it gets above 6 or 7 feet, the power company starts to complain because of the power lines that run to the house. Does that make sense? So it's something that I know I will have to prune, and this should be the first year that I'll be able to do it. Yeah, and then the last thing, when I take all of this fencing down here, the armadillo has figured out that in some places, like this last bed, I used all the pieces parts I have. It is not one long continuous piece that keeps him from digging in here. And it's figured out that if it gets his nose up under a piece like that makes sense, that it can lift it, move it out of the way, and then get under the next piece, and get under the next piece, and get under the next piece. And he's done some damage in this bed. So I need a long continuous piece. Won't be a problem, because I will have all of this fence to do that with. Because it's not keeping deer out. Panda keeps the deer out, you know? Yeah, that's the thought process there. And then again, mow up, or mow it out. You can see it there. All of this is clear now. And then you get back there, mow it all. Just kind of keep going big circles around the house and get it out past, out past everything. Keep it away from the house. I don't need ticks and stuff to breed in it, and chiggers, and I don't need it, And so when I mow it, it mulches it, makes it smaller. They can't breed in it, and it blows it away. Life is awesome. I do have a question for y'all, though. Yes, my tree mess down there. I have tree branches everywhere. Part of it becomes, what do y'all want to hear? This is my 3rd year here. This is the 3rd year I've talked about Garden 1. What I want to do, what I don't want to do. Whether or not I've got it done. I'm assuming y'all might be bored with that. This is my assumption. So, what do you want to hear? I've always stayed away from, world events. There are a lot of other YouTube channels out there with, doomsdayer and money advice, and, I don't think you need to hear that from me. But I just don't know. Do you want to hear that from me? Or do you just want to see what I do in the garden? I don't know. Leave me a message. Let me know. Or not. I don't know. Anyway, it's getting chilly. I'm going to go in the house, start a fire. Y'all have an awesome day. And Miss Panda and I will talk to you later.